Welcome back to day 43 of Mock Draft Madness. If you don't know ball and want to know ball, be sure to subscribe and leave a like. Let me know in the comments your favorite and least favorite pick from this mock draft. Yesterday, I had a trade where I had the Packers trading for Brandon Aiyuk. I'm going to do another trade centering around Brandon Aiyuk today, but today I'm going to do the Steelers because, I don't know, Benjamin Albright, I don't know how much you guys think he is legit in his sources. I think regardless if he misses sometimes, he does sometimes have some valuable information. And he put something out today basically that the Steelers are looking to possibly grab Aiyuk. So we're going to play out that scenario because honestly, as we get closer to the draft, guys, like any of the information that can alter the first round, I'm going to try out because we've been doing these for 40 plus days. So I'm kind of running out of like trade scenarios, I guess. At this point, but as we get closer, hopefully new things will come to light. Obviously, when the Vikings traded up and they got the two first round picks, that obviously made a difference. So like anytime new information comes out, I'm going to try to mold the draft off that. Whether it is 100% legit or not, I don't know. But at the same time, it gives us a new exercise and new scenario to try out. So Steelers are going to be trading. I think pick 20 will probably do it because the rumor was when the Jaguars were trying to trade for Aiyuk, it was pick 17 and Zay Jones for Aiyuk. So we are going to pull them up. San Francisco 49ers. I think Aiyuk is a good player to trade your first round pick for. He's young. He definitely has wide receiver one upside, and to pair him with a George Pickens would do pretty well, I would think, for any quarterback that's there, whether that's Russ, whether that's Justin Fields. For the future, any quarterback coming in is going to have that wide receiver one. So I think that's probably a fair trade. Just because you're going to have to pay him. So I'm just going to force that trade through because there's no way to just do the sim at this point. I know we could have done it in, but I want to start it off like that. So now we have the Bears on the clock, Caleb Williams. At number 2, I'm going to go Jaden Daniels to the Washington Commanders. Very possible that it's Drake May. Just in the reports that I hear from Schefter, it seems like Daniels can be a commander. Obviously, it could all be a smokescreen. At number 3, I'm going to go, I really do think that the Patriots will select Drake May, but at this time, I'm going to switch it up, and I'm going to go J.J. McCarthy here. And then once the Cardinals are on the clock, I'm actually going to have them, well, here's my thing, is I think if Drake May's on the clock, it makes it a different story than if J.J. McCarthy's on the clock. I think if Drake May's on the clock, there's a lot more interest from teams that are out of the quarterback range. Vikings, Broncos, Raiders. Like I think all those guys become way more of players if Drake May is on the board. You could even look at a team like Seattle that might want to come up and go get him. I don't think that's a case for Seattle. I think they might be a little bit more in Penix's range. But if we're sitting at 4, I think Marvin Harrison Jr. goes. But I do think the Chargers would be a team willing to trade out for the right price. And obviously, with 2 first-round picks, it'll probably be I'm going to offer that trade through. Vikings are there. They're going to take Drake May. At number 6, we have the New York Giants. I'm going to have them taking Malik Neighbors. I think it's a pretty simple pick for them. I think Neighbors would probably be wide receiver 1 in a lot of other drafts. And then at 7, we have the Tennessee Titans. I've had them going Joe Alt, and I think that they'll probably take Joe Alt. They do not have a 3rd round pick. Obviously, they traded that for L'Jarius Sneed, and they probably need the cheap talent they can get, so I'm going to give them Joe Alt. At number 8, we have the Atlanta Falcons. They are definitely probably going to go D-line, in my opinion. I think they could go Dallas Turner. I think Latu and Verse would also be a good addition for them. I could also see a team potentially trading up because I just think, there might be people that really want to go take a Rome Odunze, and I'm trying to think. you could go. I honestly think that the 49ers are trading up for a tackle. I think that's kind of what they're looking for. I also think it is possible that they can go get a wide receiver. I think it is also possible that teams like the Bills would be looking to trade up. They would have to move heaven and earth to go get up to 8. I think the Colts could also use one. The Jags could also use one. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to trade with the Jags. I'm going to have the Jags come up. Where are they? Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm going to have them come up. We're going to give them 17. I'm going to give them... Okay, so... They're not interested in trading for this pick. So I think maybe 48 and a third next year might be enough to get that done. So we're going to force that trade through. And the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to take Odunze. And I really hope the draft is not capping on me where I have to restart it, because that has happened before. All right, like it looks like it is going to... Oh, nope, never mind. It went through. So, at pick number 9, we have the Chicago Bears on the clock, and usually I'd have them move back if none of these receivers are on the board. But at this point, I am thinking it might be a little high for him. And I know there's teams that probably want to move up to take a guy like Brock Bowers. But I just don't know who that would be. I could also see maybe the 49ers want to move up and get their guy. They do have 2 first-round picks. But the Bears don't have any seconds to give back. See, that's the problem. Let's see what we can do here, how we can manipulate the board. Because I've had the Bears move back to 15 and take Brock Bowers, or the Colts take Brock Bowers. I think that is actually pretty likely to happen. Not the Bears necessarily, but the Colts moving up to go get him. I also think the Bengals could, because the Bengals just need another skill position, in my opinion, after losing Tyler Boyd, and like T. Higgins is probably gone after this year. So I think that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to have the Bengals trade up. I think the Bengals and the Colts are probably my favorite team to trade up to 9. So we're going to offer that trade through. Pick up a second round pick, which is real nice. What if we gave them... Maybe like a late round pick, like 115. I mean, it's 9 spots. You pick up a second. I'm just going to offer this trade. Bengals on the clock. They're going to take Brock Bowers. And I don't know why it is taking so long to load today. Very annoying. I hope it doesn't glitch out halfway through the draft, because I've had that happen where I've had to restart. At number 10, to the New York Jets. I think they're probably going to lean tackle here, and with Fuanga on the board, probably one of the better tackles in the class, maybe the top right tackle in the class. He's someone that can play guard, he can play tackle, and with all the injuries to the Jets O-line, I think someone with that versatility, even like a Troy Fautanu, would be very appealing to them. At number 11, the Los Angeles Chargers on the board. Obviously, I think they're still going to want to tackle, and they can get a wide receiver later at 23. So I think going with a guy like a Troy Fautanu, who, he can play all 5 positions, is good, because they could use an upgrade at the interior of their line, but also like Trey Pipkins is not like horrible, so you don't need to replace him now, but he could definitely replace them later. So I'm going to go Troy Fautanu to the Chargers. At number 12, we have the Denver Broncos on the clock. I think they will probably go best player available, and I think giving them a guy like a Byron Murphy could be a difference maker for them. I know they also need edge help, So actually, let me give them Latu Latu. I'm more on the edge class than I am like the interior class. I like him a little bit more. I don't think the interior class is bad, and I think Byron Murphy's actually gonna be good. Both these guys are just a little bit undersized. I don't necessarily love it. So at 13 to the Las Vegas Raiders. It'd be crazy to beef up that defensive line even more. Don't think that's a smart option though. So I'm gonna give him Terrion Arnold. At number 14, we have the New Orleans Saints. They desperately need D-line help as well as O-line help. I think Olu Fashanu is probably a safer pick, though, in terms of what they need and stability. Their O-line is kind of a mess right now, and Olu can be that pass protector for you. Yes, he needs help in the run game, but if he's available for you at 14, I find it hard to believe that they pass him up. With Terrion Arnold off the board, the Colts are going to take... I've had them take Cooper... I've had them take Quinyon Mitchell. I'm going to switch it up and give him Cooper DeJean, a guy that can play cornerback, he can play safety, he can mess around. So at 16, I'm actually going to go something a little bit different here because the Seattle Seahawks do not have a second-round pick. I am going to take a swing and give them Michael Penix Jr. I know they just traded for Sam Howell, but I also think it is possible that they're not really set on him. Obviously, they traded a third-round pick, but they don't really have a straight-up plan for quarterback, and I think Penix could really fit into their offense pretty well. A team that I really like Penix for is the Dolphins. I know they're probably not going to do it because they have Tua right now, but the fact that they haven't extended Tua already is kind of like they're not super confident in him. And I think Penix, with his deep ball, would be able to, and his processing, would be able to work in that offense very, very well. At number 17, we have the Atlanta Falcons on the clock. I am going to go with a Dallas Turner here. Obviously, he's still available. I think that's who they'd target. And at 18, with the Bears, while I would love to add a guy like Jared Verse, I'm going to add Brian Thomas Jr. to that offense. Brian Thomas Jr., DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, Cole Kmet, Gerald Everett, DeAndre Swift. You're giving Caleb Williams as much as you can to succeed while also picking up a second-round pick where you can add maybe an edge player or someone like of that nature. At 19 to the Los Angeles Rams, I am going to give them Byron Murphy, someone who can play on the interior of that defensive line. You just need players. 20 to the San Francisco 49ers with J.C. Latham available. That is an easy selection. They can immediately replace Colton McKivitz, or he can play guard for them. At number 21 to the Miami Dolphins. After losing Christian Wilkins, Jerzon Newton could be a good play for them. I understand they have a lot of depth, but I think Jerzon Newton can be that alpha guy on that defensive line and really make a change. At number 22, I've had the Philadelphia Eagles really go corner here. I think they could also go tackle. I do like Mims. They do need wide receiver help, and I think maybe I know they have 2 second-round picks they could add receivers to. I think that's really enticing as well. I think corner and tackle are a little bit more of a need. Obviously, they need linebacker. It's kind of hard because these guys are projects and they don't need to play right away, which they won't on the Eagles. But I don't know. Maybe we could take a guy like Guyton, or maybe what we can do here. I have an idea. Let's have the Arizona Cardinals trade up here. Let's give them 27. And they give us 22. We give them 35. They give us 50. Or we can give them 66. It's 5 spots in the first. Let's see. I think a third would get it done. My issue is maybe if we give them 35 and they give us 50, I think that could be fair. So let's force that trade through. And the Arizona Cardinals are going to take Jared Verse. So now they have Jared Verse and they have Marvin Harrison Jr. I would say that is quite the first round. At number 23, we have the Los Angeles Chargers. They took Troy Fautanu. They've addressed the O-line. I think, they really need a lot of things. They need cornerback room, and with a guy like Quinyon Mitchell on the board, I think that's kind of hard to pass up. Dallas Cowboys need someone who can play kind of all over the line. I'm going to give them Grant Barton. I think that is a great addition to that line. He can play all 5 positions, and the Cowboys O-line is kind of all over the place right now. So he would provide some certainty for sure. At number 25, Nate Wiggins, I think could be a pretty good player. His frame obviously just scares me. Super athletic, and Packers fans are probably going to hate it if I take him. But I just think he could be a good player for y'all. I think he could add like a really good cornerback opposite of Jair Alexander. So I'm going to go Nate Wiggins. At number 26, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They need a center. Jackson Powers-Johnson is their guy. At number 27, we have the Philadelphia Eagles, who now have pick 35 as well. So what they could do is, there is a chance that Tyler Guyton is there at 35. I don't think Adonai Mitchell is going to be there. So imagine Adonai Mitchell, Devonta Smith, and A.J. Brown on that offense. When Jalen Hurts is at his best is when he's surrounded with weapons, and that's what they get in Adonai Mitchell. At number 28, we have the Buffalo Bills. Unfortunately, the top wide receivers are kind of off the board at this point, but I still think they have to make a play for one. So giving them a guy like a Troy Franklin who could stretch the field would be really nice. I do like Keon Coleman. I do like Jermaine Burton. I don't know right now if the culture of Buffalo could support a Jermaine Burton, so I'm going to give them Troy Franklin. At number 29, I have the Detroit Lions on the clock, and they're going to take Kool-Aid McKinstry. I mean, obviously, guys, they need so much help in that corner room. It's going to be very hard to pass up a guy like that at 29. At number 30, we have the Baltimore Ravens. I think, they could go corner here. I think it is possible that they do need O-line, but they need someone that can kind of play right away, and I don't necessarily know if that's going to be an Amarius Mims or a Tyler Guyton. I really do like the idea of a Jordan Morgan there. They need corner, they need edge. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to give them a Chop Robinson. At number 31, we have the San Francisco 49ers, who are able to get J.C. Latham earlier in the round. I think, they need cornerback help. I also think if they're going to be trading Aiyuk, they could add a receiver. And I think a guy like a Jermaine Burton could actually be pretty good on that team. At number 32, we have the Kansas City Chiefs. I think if they need a guy that can kind of start right away on the O-line, but they also need people they can develop. And I think Amarius Mims is somebody that can be really good for them if he plays behind for one more year. And he has that top 5 upside to him that it's like, if you're a team like the Chiefs, it's kind of hard to pass that up. I'm actually going to go to 35, guys, just to play out kind of my scenario with the Eagles in this. So at number 33, we have the Carolina Panthers. I have them taking Ladd McConkey. 34, we have the Patriots. They took JJ McCarthy. They obviously do need edge help. They need wide receiver help, though, desperately. So I'm actually going to give them Roman Wilson. And then at 35, the Eagles get their guy in Tyler Guyton. So I just wanted to go to 35, just kind of play out my scenario with the Eagles to justify why I moved them back. Thank you guys so much for watching. This has been Mock Draft Madness, day 43 of doing a mock draft every single day until the NFL draft. If you don't know ball and want to know ball, be sure to subscribe, leave a like, let me know in the comments your favorite and least favorite pick from this mock draft and any trade scenarios you want me to try. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great rest of your night.